Hello guys, and welcome back to episode number 90 of my Football Manager 2023 European Journeyman save on our epic quest to win every top flight tier division. Top flight tier is the same thing. Top flight division in every European nation. We have just completed nation number 10. We're now into nation number 11, which is Romania. And we have got the job of FC Voluntari. Quite excited about this one. A little bit of an underdog team, really, compared to some of the teams in the division. But we'll go over that in a moment. So, first of all, eyebrows have been raised in the world of football at the appointment of 62-year-old Dean Talentai, who has recently spent time away from club football. We haven't. We've been out of work for about 2 weeks. And he's sure to face plenty of questions when he faces the media for the first time at the name of our stadium. Talentai arrives with a record of 607 wins, 147 draws and 188 defeats in his career. Also won 13 league titles and 12 cups. Talentai, a Hungarian Division 1 Manager of the Year winner in 2048, brings a blend of experience and proven credentials with him to his new job. One thing that did happen between myself and MTK Budapest at the end of last season is I did apply for the voluntary job, which was great. You know, they wanted me, but they said that they couldn't afford to pay my compensation on the remainder of my contract. So I went to the MTK board, said, look, can you release me from a contract? Basically, the MTK board said no. So I told them that my position was untenable at the club, and it resigned for me. I didn't have to click on resign, it just resigned for me. So here I am in Romania. At Voluntari. Year founded is 2010, so in terms of in real life, they're not a particularly old club. Obviously, we are now approaching 2050 in game, so relatively aged now, you know. But capacity of 4,518, built in 2012 stadium. Got good training facilities, good youth facilities, but exceptional youth recruitment, which is, as you'll see in a moment, is possibly going to be particularly important in terms of being in Romania. They do have some quite strict homegrown rules here in Romania. The league system's also weird. I'll go over that in a minute as well. It's not like anything I've ever seen before. But the board do expect us to finish in mid-table. It is required. They also desire us to reach the latter stages of the Cupa Romanii, or we'll just call it the Romanian Cup, and continue working towards a top half finish. And then in a couple of years' time, record a top half finish. We'll be hoping to do that a lot quicker than that, hopefully. And we'll get into that now. We're not going to do the opening press conference. We'll have a quick look around the squad, and here is the squad. We'll sort it by the in terms of current ability. This is something new with this skin as well. It shows you who your captain, your vice captain, average age of the squad, and stuff like that are up here, which is really, really good. But Ionut Christie is considered to be the best player at the club. He is a defender centre or a defensive midfielder on defence, so we've pretty much got that position covered already. Now he looks very, very good compared to what we were used to at MTK. He's quite a good player. He's been at the club for a little while now as well. He's already played one non-competitive game this season, so obviously they've already played a game. Now I did try and wait a little bit to see what would happen at the end of the Romanian season. If we just have a quick look at it now, we'll go to last season. It was touch and go whether CFR Cluj were going to be the champions, and in the end they have become the champions. But until that last game of the season was played, their manager was just about hovering on insecure/secure, and I was waiting to see if they didn't win the title, whether he would get the sack or not. Unfortunately, for us, they did win the title. So he's kept his job. We finished in 10th place, which, as I briefly went over at the end of last episode, the league splits into two groups. It goes into the championship playoff, which is the top 6 teams, basically. You can see how close it was for CFR Cluj. They won it on possibly goals scored. I think it might be goals scored because goal difference is the same. It could even be results against. So they've won it by the slimmest of margins. But the league does split into Champions Playoff and a relegation group. Now, Voluntari did finish 4th in that relegation group, which is a little bit below par, really. FCSB, who have recently won titles, believe it or not, as much as 4 years ago, they were in the relegation group. So we do have a little bit of work to do here in Romania. As far as the league rules go, like I say, it's quite strict. We'll have a look at the Superliga first of all. 30 games, which is fantastic. Nice, easy, 10 games to split it off. But the match squad must have at least 6 players traded by a club in Romania. So out of your starting 11 and your substitute, you have to have 6 homegrown players in nation. There must be at least 1 Romanian under-22 player in the playing 11. So, that's pretty basic. Domestic players under 22 are automatically registered, which is great. Only players registered. So we do have squad registration. This time we didn't have that in Hungary. So there's 9 substitutes. So out of those, 20 players who I've got to have 6 of them which are homegrown. So it's not actually too bad. In terms of how the league is separated, it's results between teams. So that's obviously how CRF did win the title last season. I did read and hear somewhere as well, it might not have been in this part, but we've got a maximum squad size of 25, maximum of 4 non-EU players. That's pretty standard, we've had that before. Minimum of 8 players trained in same nation for 3 years before the 21st birthday. So again, we're into homegrown players. And a minimum of 4 players trained at the club as well. So obviously we do have to be wary of that. In terms of looking around the rest of the club, though, we do have a nice healthy bank balance there, 4.8 million in the bank. Current season, a profit of 2.6 million, so the club is making money. We do have a fair bit of wage budget as well at 78,000, 79,000. We've got a little bit of room to play with as well, 27k to play with. And looking at our best player here, he's on 2k a week, so we do have some wiggle room there in terms of wage budget to play with. Now, I'm quite excited about Cristea. He looks like a fairly decent player at 21 years old. He's already been capped by Romania as well, which is really, really good. As far as the rest of the squad's concerned, we've got some more good players. We may look to drop him back to a Segundo Volante, which is a position that we do play. He's actually got some really good attributes for that position as well. Apart from he can't tackle and he can't mark, so defensively not the greatest, but he does have the potential to play there. We've got a decent right-sided winger, inside forward, who's comfortable on his left foot, which again is good. Maybe not the greatest, but he's not too bad. But I was comparing us to the rest of the league and to CFR Cluj. I keep saying CRF. We've got a decent striker. Look, he's fairly good as an advanced forward. In fact, he's absolutely fantastic as an advanced forward in Ganici. So, but I was comparing us to the rest of the to the likes of CFR Cluj, and their players, they're not massively different to ours. Compare him to Stats Plus. This is something new. This is something new on the skin. I've not seen this before. That looks quite good, doesn't it? So it's fantastic, the skin. But if we compare him to our top player, which I've forgotten his name already, Cristea, that's the one, they play in a similar position. They're very, very similar. I would maybe argue that Cristea is possibly slightly better. So we're not a million miles away from the best team in the country at the minute, the defending champions. So we could again have quite a good season here in Romania. Now, one thing that has come up, is we're starting to become victims of our own success. The fact that we've won back-to-back titles in 2 different nations. When I had my job interview here, the board weren't overly keen with the fact that I've not spent too long at my last 2 jobs. But obviously my reputation is getting to the point where it is starting to precede me. And as a manager, we are looking very, very good. We're still hovering around that 65% reputation. But we've got some crazy attributes. In terms of when the league starts, though, it's not too far away. It's only 13 days away. So it starts on the 18th of July, which is pretty early. And we are taking on FC Brasov in the Superliga. Now, again, apologies for pronunciations, guys. I am British, as I said in the last episode. So some of my pronunciations are going to be a little bit poor. Now, this team looks very, very beatable to get us off to a good start. But we are going to be taking on Brasov straight away. I've got 2 weeks to play through. See if I can make some signings in that time. See if I can slightly improve the squad. Where we're at in terms of the season preview, where the media think we're going to finish, is currently in 9th place at 51s. So Christie is even in the Media Dream 11 there, which is great. So I'm going to try and make some improvements to the squad, see if we can get ourselves a little bit further up. But we've seen before that we've won league titles from odds like that before, and we don't look too far away from the players that Cluj have got. So I'll catch up with you guys again in a minute. Right, hello guys, welcome back to the second part of today's episode. Here at FC Voluntari, we have reached the opening game of the season, away to FC Brasov. Hopefully we can have a good result here. We have made a couple of signings since you were last with us. The board are disappointed with the finances in one of them. It's my personal record signing in this save. I spent £1.6 million on a goalkeeper. We have also signed a new left fullback, which we'll go over now. I'm also looking to bring in Kemal Husic. Now, the original bid was accepted, but because I'd brought the other two in as well, I ran out of transfer funds. So I had a previous clause from the previous regime that was here, and I've sold that. I've moved some of the wage budget about. So hopefully, if they accept this bid that I've got in, then we should be seeing Kemal Husic, the 20-year-old Serbian, come in as a centre half to play alongside Christia. Now he's very, very good, and I'm quite excited to hopefully get him over the line. One thing I have noticed about this club is that the youth centre is absolutely fantastic in terms of players. We've got some great potential players coming through. This promising players, which is what you want to look for in young players. There's at least 3 there that I can see. I've another one over here, although he's over here as well, but they're almost first team level. You know, this guy can play as an inside forward. He's got a reasonable left foot. He's listed as the second best right winger at the club at 16 years old. He's almost first team ready. But in terms of the 2 players who have brought in, it is Burhan Akdag. He is a Turk, so both my record signings in this save have been Turkish. 20-year-old Turkish player, 1.6 million. So it is my record transfer. He's played some games for Samsunspor in the Turkish Super League, believe it or not, actually getting promoted at one stage. Did concede a lot of goals though, but in terms of his attributes compared to Larabi, who was the club's best goalkeeper, he's pretty decent. His shot stopping, distribution and aerially, he's much better than the 28-year-old Algerian. Physically and speed wise, not so great, but he's 20 years old. He's got room to improve. His attributes here for his goalkeeping are much better. Mentally as well, arguably better. It's just his physicals that do let him down. So obviously we are looking to improve his physicals. We are training his quickness because he does lack a bit of pace. Not sure how important pace is to a goalkeeper, but pleased to have him here. And we've brought in Serigny. We'll just call him Mendy. We've brought in Mendy from Generation Foot. 29-year-old Senegalese. He's got 9 caps for Senegal as well. He's come in as the new starting left back. Unfortunately, he doesn't enjoy big matches, but he is consistent, which is great. As a wing back on support, which is what we play, he's very good. You know, he's got some decent pace. He's got some strength as well, agility, concentration, positioning, and he can defend as well. The only thing that he's really lacking in is his crossing and his dribbling, and as a result, we are training his crossing. How much he'll improve, though, at 29 years old is a different matter. He's probably not going to improve too much, but he's better than what we had. One thing I am looking forward to here with the fullbacks that I have, both the fullbacks, they've got awesome long throws. Now that is almost as dangerous as the corner set piece routine that we use. Long throws, especially if you train them like we're going to do here, to possess a long, flat bullet throw. So if he can get that, the right fullback who we've already got here does do that as well. He's already got that player trait, so quite pleased with that. Anyway, let's get into today's game. That's all the ins. There has been a couple of outs, but as we don't really know the squad yet, we're not really going to go through them because we don't really know any of the players. We are away from home to start the season. Hopefully we can get off to a good start here against Brasov. The 2 players I will have brought in have shortened our odds for the title ever so slightly, which we'll have a quick look at before we get into the game. We've moved down to 34s from 51, still predicted to finish 8th, but there's 2 other teams on 34s as well. I think we can have a good season. We've won leagues from higher odds than that, and if we do get that other central defender in as well, he's a very, very good player. It could improve us even further. So the lineup that we're going to go with for the first day of the season, let's see if we can learn the squad. It is going to be Burhan in goal, the new signing. Gubernau, again, apologies for the pronunciations, guys. I really struggle with them. There's some of these foreign names. So we'll go Gubernau. He's starting as a right back. Cristea and Ilariu as the two centre halves. Ilariu's, he's not too bad, 25 years old, but he is one of those homegrown players. But he is considered a fringe player, which is why I'm looking to replace him. And then it's going to be new signing Mendy at left back. In terms of midfield, defensive midfielder is going to be Latu. He is a 34-year-old Romanian, so he's the granddad of the squad. But as a defensive midfielder on defence, he's very good. His pace may be lacking a little bit now in his old age, so that is another position that I am looking to improve at some point. Tinchu, who is naturally an attacking midfielder or just a normal field midfielder, we are teaching him to play that Segundo Volante on attack. Some of these more attacking players coming into that Segundo Volante position, and they do very well. He's just his two of his defensive attributes are letting him down in that position. Other than that, he's very, very good, consistent as well, which is great. So hopefully he can pick that up. It's going to be Sabo on the other side again as the Segundo Volante on attack, finishing, letting this one down. So we've got one who can't defend, we've got one who can't finish. Hopefully they'll work well together. But 25-year-old Romanian, again, another homegrown one. On the wings, Atanasoy. Yeah, we'll go with Atanasoy, 22-year-old Romanian. Unfortunately, he's not right-footed. We are trying to develop his right foot, but as an inside forward on attack, again, he's got some great attributes for that position. He can even finish as well, so he's going to do quite well. Anastasi on the right hand side can use his left foot. He's reasonable on it. Inside forward on attack, again, very, very good. Finishing may be the one downside to him, but his agility and his pace are going to cause havoc among the defence. And then up top, we're going to start with Vlad Ganici, 22-year-old Romanian, homegrown in the nation. He's very, very good. He is absolutely unbelievable as an advanced forward. His attributes for that position are very, very good. Very, very good indeed. We do have on the bench as well, we have another striker. I think he's on the bench somewhere. It's this one, Dragos Kostash, 17-year-old. 17 years old. Again, absolutely fantastic as a advanced forward, and he's got bags and bags of potential to grow into. So looking forward to things from Dragos. But anyway, I've rambled on enough, guys. Let's get in. We've got 2 squad numbers to give to the new players. Did manage to get them registered for the squad, which is obviously as well absolutely great. And there we go, guys. We're underway in our first game in our 11th nation on this epic journey of 33. We're a third of the way there, and we do get our first highlight, and it is Brashov with the ball. They're coming forward down this right-hand side. Balan switches the play. Beautiful pass out for 2. Mafte, he's got a runner ahead of him as well. He finds him in Iordaci. It's gone across. It's hit the post. The goalkeeper's made an absolute mash of that, has the young Turk. Can we turn it into our advantage, though? Can we get up the other end? It's Ganici. Comes back to Ilariu. Going over the top. It's a wasteful... Oh, no, Anastasi might get there. No, he doesn't quite get there. The defender does clear it, but still this highlight goes on. It's Cristea. Now Latu. Out wide to Atalanossi. It's a good ball across, and we've put the ball in the back of the net with Denis Anastasi inside the first 10 minutes on our first game in charge here in Romania. Fantastic play by the lads there. I think we've got some really, really gifted footballers at this football club, and I'm quite looking forward to what we can do here. It's a good ball over the top, great first time cross, and there's just the anticipation there from Anastasi to get on the end of it is absolutely fantastic. And that's it for the first half, guys. Just that one highlight, which we have scored from. But as you can see from the match stats there, we have been utterly, utterly dominant in this game. Brashov have had one venture into our half, and it's one shot which didn't hit the target. So we've hit the target 8 times. We should be more than 1-0 up. Hopefully, we're not going to regret not scoring a couple more goals, with the absolute dominance that we've had. As now I say that Brashov do come forward on the left-hand side. It's Amondi with the ball into the box. It's well cleared by Cristea, though. But they are going to come back with Alexandru. Finds Amondi again. We've pinched the ball off him. It's Ganici. Cristea, who, by the way, I have annoyed already in my first 2 weeks at the club. He's decided that he's bigger than the club, and I told him he's not going anywhere. So he's currently unhappy with us. It's now Mendy, the new signing, on the left-hand side. Finds Alariu. Bringing the ball forward. Finds Mendy again. Looking down the line towards Atanosi. He's well tackled, though. It's back to the goalkeeper. They're all living dangerously there. Tinchu's pinched it inside the area. Looking to get the ball across. He does get the ball across. I think that came off the chest of Anastasi there. And it's harmlessly ended up in the goalkeeper's hands. But we are still absolutely dominant in this game, guys. We need to score another goal. Hopefully it's going to come here with Tinchu looking for Sabo. Sabo gets his head on it. It's gone just over the bar. A decent effort. We've got some really, really good set-piece takers here, like throw-ins and corners and free kicks. So hopefully it pays dividends towards the end of the season. I'm going to bring Ganici off. He's not having the best of games. We're going to get Kostash on, the 17-year-old, who I'm really, really excited about. Obviously, we do need to try and help him develop some of that potential that he's got. And as a result of that, for the first time in this save, I've actually paid attention to the backroom staff, to the coaching staff, stuff like that, to try and help develop some of these players. As approaching the final 15 minutes of the game, it is Voluntari with the ball again. We've gone all the way back to Burham. Finds Alariu to Cristea. Brings the ball forward. Oh no, you can't do that in there, Cristea. It's Andre who's pinched the ball off him. This is dangerous, and thankfully, Andre cannot finish. That was utterly, utterly dangerous from Cristea there. And with 10 minutes remaining, I'd love another goal. It's my history of Football Manager is I'm going to concede in the 92nd minute. That's just the way things go for me. Hopefully it doesn't happen here. And thankfully it hasn't. Thankfully it hasn't. We start off in Romania with a winning performance. A really good performance from some of them as well. Obviously the players are still learning my tactic, my 4-3-3 that I play with. So they do need to settle into that as well. I don't think we're very comfortable with the formation as things stand. In fact, we can have a quick look. No, they're not very familiar with it. But we have started off with a win, which is absolutely fantastic. Right, guys, a little bit of a longer episode today, which obviously is a thing that happens when we come to a new club. We obviously look around the club and stuff like that. We are approaching our 1,000th game in charge as well, so that's going to break this season up just a little bit compared to the two-thirds that the thirds that we normally do. It's also a really long season here. Once we've played the 30 Superliga games, and then the league splits as well. There's another 9 after that, so it's actually 39 games. But we are going to do our 1,000th game, but before that we've got a third of the season to come back to go through, which could be somewhere around this sort of area. Steaua Bucuresti, FC Rapid, Dinamo Bucuresti as well. It could be around that area. CFR Cluj are a little bit further away, unfortunately. But guys, thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I hope you're looking forward to seeing how we do in Romania. Hopefully we can have a decent season. We are the favourites for our next game, I've just noticed, against Dinamo Bucuresti as well. We've actually got the odds up here now in the updated version of the skin. But guys, thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well if you want to support me going forward. But cheers, guys, and I'll see you all next time.